to understand how desperate the Bio regime is and how they don't want to hand over power. That is why I'm bringing this to you guys. And also, to explain this better, let me play this video for you guys so you all would see what I'm talking about, so it can give you a perspective into what is actually happening. I want you to have a great perspective. This video this is from the United Kingdom. I wish I would have a better version of this, but it's from my brother, Hotmail, the guy who does those powerful short messages on WhatsApp. He shared this on a platform, on a group called Loyalist. So I want you guys to listen to this. This is from the UK, the United Kingdom, the news. I want you to listen to this, and then you guys would understand where I'm coming from with this. Listen to this. Let me get this right for you on the screen first. Oh man, it was upside down. God damn it. Okay. Oh boy, I don't want you guys to spin your heads, but All right. Sorry guys, I'm gonna play it like this. This is how it is. This is how it was shared by a brother, but just listen. Don't pay attention to the video. Listen to the words. I don't want you to spin your head like this just to watch it, but unfortunately, as you can see, I'm trying to rotate my phone here different directions to see if I get it right, but it is the way it was shared. So it's not my fault. So please bear with me. Listen to the words attentively, okay? I'm going to keep it like this so it's a lot smaller, but listen to this.
So it calls into question how on earth you are still able to rent a flat when you've not been necessarily in the country for however many years. She was in London, and that's when she got her flat. That's where she met her husband, who was actually mounting his presidential bid, raising cash in London town. Yeah. And the irony is that some of her official engagements have included, obviously, talking about lots of kinds of rights, but rejecting and talking against Western encroachment in African values and Eastern life. So it's beggars believe that you can still pop over every now and again back to your council flat when you don't live here. But the council have responded by saying that they don't take income into account. Now I found this fascinating because I thought if you earned a particular over threshold, no, you shouldn't be. There's nothing in national policy to stop a billionaire from being taken out of a. Well, that's a disgrace. Remarkable, isn't it?
But there are 350,000 people in London on a waiting list for a council house.
Yeah, absolutely, and we know full well that the government is committed to build 1.5 million new houses by the end of this parliament because we need houses. We need places for people to live, and somebody who's living in a council flat but clearly has plenty of houses in Sierra Leone probably isn't the most in need within this situation. It's shocking, and it's so disappointing, isn't it?
You know, the Times have got this story, and they've sent a snapper over to this place, and they've got photos of the letters and posts being sent to the addressed to the president of Sierra Leone. Imagine that, your postman handing out that sort of stuff. And they also say that the couple's daughter regularly uses this pad for social outings in the capital. It's not a bad deal, is it, to be not only tied to an African power, but also have access to social housing in London?
It's a fantastic benefit, and I'm sure it goes very well along with some MS handbags and a yacht. I think they've got a yacht, they've got a villa on the seaside, 20 bedrooms or something.
And a gaff in Suffolk. Well, before we move on to the next story, we should say that neither the First Lady, nor President Bio, nor Dicta Soli responded to requests for comment, and Southwark Council declined to comment on an individual case, but a spokesman said that social housing tenants have a right to stay in their homes regardless of income, unless they fail to meet the obligations in their tenancy agreement. Where this is in doubt, we perform regular checks and investigations to determine whether these obligations are being met. What's next, Miriam?
All right, guys. You know, I really wanted to share this with you to give you guys perspective and to show you the level of desperation. And the reason why I'm going to share this with you, you guys watch the space. Over the next few months, weeks and months to come, there's going to be legislation. I don't doubt it, Monday. They're going to change the laws completely on council flats in the United Kingdom. We tell us that people have it in a council flat. You see, this is why we have what we have. Because when you have people that were suffering, you know, in life, everybody gets there. Everybody getting fit, everybody getting destiny, right? And you would think when God bless certain people, pull them out of poverty, they would think about bringing others out of poverty. And when I say others, not just their immediate family members or their blind supporters, but the good of the nation as a whole. When you take, again, I hate to do this kinds of stuff, but there is no way, with Marabio, imagine for somebody will be head of states, with a coup, the amount of money will be amassed. This money we don't play with. Some of us probably would never be able to play with those in a lifetime. The millions and millions of dollars. But we're still good because we don't get all this nonsense foolishness over our head, right? With thieving, because Marabio is a thief, is a crook. And it don't show himself once he get powerful, do what he do. I hear my brother Hotmail was sharing that this morning when Marabio cleared the central vault, Bank of Sierra Leone, before he handed over power to Tijan Kaba. So he's a crook, he's a criminal, he's a thief. And this guy, with all that money, they lost all. They go back to London, they go in a council flat. There is no way I can compare his life to mine. I don't live a better life past Marabio, albeit all things being equal, and nobody ever get access to the vault for thief salon people money or anything else. I cannot put myself, we're not in the same class or level. Myself, the Fatima Bios, I've lived a better life past them, and Titi, I will live better life past them. Even after they finish Commander Power, with all the millions that they've had, I would still live a better life than them, because every penny I get, as poor as I am, I earned it. I live in Agudos. I don't drive some of the best cars, and I'm still driving them. I get blessed with a beautiful family and everything else I can ask for. So I'm grateful, and I tell God thank you. Marabio, Fatima Bio would have never been able to, outside of thieving in politics, for even afford the home that I have. It would take them donkey years to do it, to afford the kind of car that I drive, as I am in the United States of America. Not to talk about personal, but right, sometimes you have to just, make people understand these kinds of things. So with the level of, backwardness and the level of poverty that these guys were on, living in council flats, I don't ever live on government assistance in this country since I came into this United States of America. These people were the lowest of the low, living in council flats. And now we are Sierra Leoneans, and as Koroma, I don't know what happened, how they handed over power to this idiot, this thief, this criminal, right? And then God, unfortunately, can't give him a woman back where it's the same. But I tell you guys, I play this video for you all because I want you to know how, much these guys are entrenched. And I'll share more of these articles with you so you guys can see. Because again, this article is very important for you guys to see this. Listen to this. Let's read this together, right? Let's read this together. After Sierra Leone's president took office, his wife and his family, like I said again, bought homes them all over Gambia and this and that. This is what they've done. Since becoming Sierra Leone's first lady, Fatima Bio has bought 4 properties in Gambia, while a $500,000 villa was purchased in her mother's name. Fatima Bio's half-brothers have also purchased Gambian properties, bringing the relative spending to a total of at least $2.1 million on at least 10 real estate transactions carried out between 2020 and 2024. Documents show a top Sierra Leone government contractor signed key paperwork for 3 of the properties, including the villa owned by the First Lady's mother. When reached for comment, he denied any involvement in the purchases. The First family did not respond to questions about who paid for the real estate. So imagine, guys, this is the OCCRP, Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, right? I want you guys to see that. And at the same time, the way you can corroborate these stories like these is to actually show, that when you look at other, you look at the African Express publications and all of that, it ties around the time when Fatima Bio were withdrawing money from the consolidated fund, right? Millions and millions of dollars. They claim that they buy furniture, blah, blah, all that nonsense, right? Hands off our girls, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? Oh, are they support the first ladies, them, that me, they pay for them flight and this and that, all that nonsense, right? The African Express exposed all of that. So when you go back and look at those stories, because I don't want to do everything for you guys, I want Sierra Leoneans to have a logical mind. You guys should be able to research and find this information and connect the dots, right? You will see how it ties with the amount of spending when they buy property in Gambia. Again, Gambia, I come out. And I know she has more investments in Gambia. And these are the things we tell Sierra Leone and them. So when I see this, look at what people in they say about the fact that Fatima Bio didn't get a pad na the United Kingdom. When I listen what's in the British people they are saying now, look at this. Sierra Leone's First Lady rents a council flat in London. This is on the Times newspaper. This is all over the place. right? This is them. As 336,000 households wait for accommodation in the capital, Fatima Bio retains tenancy of her old home in Southwark while living in a Freetown mansion. So this is what the British people, the tabloids, are now carrying across the United Kingdom. So this again goes to the fact that when we tell you guys, see, them people they live in a council flats. Council flat now for poor people in this part of the world because they don't want to let people be homeless. So now the poorest of the poor, these are people that are, some people within a council flat, now circumstances make them the day. You know, that reason make them the day. Even in the United States of America right now, Donald Trump, there's what is called Section 8 housing. Donald Trump has, the administration of Donald Trump, they're trying to just wipe that out completely. If not almost wipe out completely, but put some stringent measures in place to ensure that it's not exploited. Because what is happening now in the United Kingdom, there are 336,000 people waiting for get their acceptance into council flats. Some of these people, life deal with them terribly. It can happen to all of us. Nobody is perfect. But those housing, if for a temporary status, for just get you up and running, and once you get your foot, you should be out of that. If anything, that is the kind of legislation where I believe Senegal for pass. Because of this story now, we don't go across the United Kingdom tabloid. But all of this story, I'm connecting it with the American ambassador's statement to tell you how desperate these guys are for hold on to power, because they know if people like Dr. Samara Kamara hold on to power, these are investigations. We got for seize all them property there in Gambia and all of these stuff, because there is no way Fatima Bio make that much money for them able to afford those kinds of properties and the wealth and some of the, I believe these are people where when God wants to disgrace you, this is how he disgraces you. Because imagine Fatima Bio can afford to buy millions of dollars of mansions in the United Kingdom now. They don't thief enough money for buy those mansions, but then still make the mistake of keeping council flat. Either they feel say they go use that like for disguise or lie like for say, see, we still, not able to afford anything now. We keep with council flats because just in case if we get out of power in Sierra Leone, we have a place to come back. But that is bullshit. I mean, everybody knows that that's not going to fly. They know they've amassed wealth and they can afford to buy a mansion in the United Kingdom. Not one, not two, not three, not four. But that's so God, they fight for the people of Sierra Leone. That is why they keep that council flats. They take it or expose like I do expose so now. You guys have listened to that. So what's going to happen? Legislation is going to take place. Let's read this real quick. The First Lady of Sierra Leone is understood to be the tenant of a council flat in South London, despite owning an extensive property portfolio in Africa. When I listen to the white people in words, despite owning an extensive portfolio in Africa. Listen to their words. They're not mincing these words. They know what they talk about. Which one they talk because they want for Toko? No, sir. So they're not mincing their words here at all. They're making it very clear and sacrosanctly clear that Fatima Bio gets extensive portfolio. So let's read it together. The First Lady of Sierra Leone is understood to be the tenant of a council flat in South London, despite owning an extensive property portfolio in Africa. Fatima Bio, a former actress, left London in 2018 when her husband Julius Maada Bio became president. Since then, the couple have lived in a presidential lodge in Freetown, the capital of Sierra Leone, set in extensive grounds in the hills above the city. The luxury mansion is equipped with a swimming pool, tennis courts, and a helipad. Records show that Fatima Bio, 44, registered to vote at a 2-bedroom council flat in Southwark several times since 2009. Southwark Council confirmed that the flat has had the same tenant since 2007, indicating that Bio continues to rent the property. This would appear to breach council housing regulations, which require that such a property to a tenant's sole or principal residence. Bio was born in Sierra Leone and came to London to pursue a career in modeling and acting, ultimately appearing in a handful of low-budget Nigerian movies. She met Maada Bio, now 60, in London in 2012, where he was fundraising for his first presidential run. They married in 2013, and lived at the property in Southwark until his 2018 election victory. Maada Bio was a brigadier, a captain during Sierra Leone's civil war in 1990. But anyways, these are the tabloids that are going on. This is what people are talking about. And that is why it's crucial and it's important for us to talk about these things and bring it out. Guys, if we as Sierra Leoneans don't take a position, these guys are not willing and ready to hand over power. But they should. There is conversation all over the place, all over social media now, in Reddit, all those British, platforms, talking about the fact that how can this lady still own a council flat whilst 336,000 people in the United Kingdom are waiting for access to those council flats. I guarantee you it's going to change, definitely, because with the way politics is these days, this is going to run through the members of parliament, through the House of Commons now. It's going through now, and something is going to happen. But that's how democracy works in these nations.